Hello everyone, welcome to Piccadilly Stampin'. This is the second time in now. It says my signal dropped, and so I'm hoping that I'm live again and I get some folks in here. I'm going to give it a moment and see. Maybe this is going to work, hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm going to wait to see if I can see some hellos. Okay, it's working, finally. Yay! That's the last time I tried to do something techie, huh? All right, so I don't have Bill here to tell me when stuff drops. I have to figure it out myself. So today we're going to use some supplies out of the mini catalog. This card is super cute and super simple. Now, because of Stampin' Up! Policies, I cannot open this catalog yet to show you where I'm getting it from, but that's okay. I can show you what I'm using. So let me put this aside. Oh, be sure to like and follow us, especially if you're new, so that you get noticed when I go live. Hopefully it'll be better than the last time. So we're not using any stamp set today. We're going to use some masks. This is the Abundant Beauty Decorative Mask Set, and let me open this up, maybe. Here we go. So I want you to see that there are, this is like a houndstooth. I need to grab a basic black piece of cardstock here. So let me grab that. This will make it easier to see on my background. This is kind of a houndstooth mask. Very, very awesome. This one has kind of a fall theme of leaves, which would be great for backgrounds. This one has some snowflakes, which is going to be awesome also. But on top of that, they have a 4-set of dies that work together to make some really cool. Here's the top with that little niche. So I'm going to stand up here to see if you guys can see this. It says 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, I'm not going to do traditional colors because you guys know me, right? I'm not traditional when it comes to this. You're not going to see a sunflower done in yellow and brown, which I have some right down the street. And I'm sorry to all the Kansas people who sunflower is the state flower. But nope, I'm going to have to change that up a bit. So I'm going to start with a card base. This is our Misty Moonlight. And I think it reminds me of blue jeans. That's what Misty Moonlight reminds me of. Is that how you say it? Is it Misty Moonlight? Yeah, it's Misty Moonlight. Jeez. Okay, so that's the card base. And then I have a piece of white. And the measurement on this one is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay, so you guys all have a Stampin' Cut Emboss machine that comes with these acrylic plates, right? Well, mine's filthy at the moment, but that's okay. We're going to be cleaning it. I did use the Stamparatus plates, and I swore by them, but since we no longer sell the Stamparatus, we're going to have to use this plate. So what I like to do is I like to have the firmness of that Stamparatus plate. So if you have them, you still can. And what I love about the Stamparatus plate is it had that grid. But I'm going to put this over my grid sheet here so that I can get this kind of lined up straight. And then you can use this artist tape, which is really expensive. So I'm going to put that away. Or you could use just regular painter's tape. So I'm going to pull off a strip of this. And here's what I'm going to do. When I use this painter's tape, it's just a little tacky and it can tear your paper. Just run it on your arm to kind of like make it not so tacky. And then it's perfectly ready to go, especially in this heat that we're having, right? So now it's not going to stick to my paper and cause my paper to rip. So it's not the artist tape, but it's a heck of a lot more affordable. You can get it at Walmart. I mean, not that I'm I'm not promoting Walmart. So these masks all work in conjunction with each other, which is really kind of cool. So I'm going to stick this on my plate, and I'm just going to use that tape again. Now I want to tape it in a different spot because, there we go, to hold it in place. Now I've got a firm area. It's going straight down, but my paper's not moving and my mask is not moving, which I think is great. So just a little tip. You guys know how I love to do tips. Here is the color combination. So we've got Pebbled Path, Gray Granite, Misty Moonlight, Balmy Blue, Granny Apple Green, and Parakeet Party. Now, my colors are faded. As you can see, Granny Apple Green is not this kind of blue color. So don't look at that and see that, but and think that that's it. But we're going to start with the Balmy Blue. And you are definitely going to want a piece of scratch paper. So here's my old host code. And I am going to start with getting some Balmy Blue on there and seeing how much I have on my brush. And I want to go, especially around these edges, with that Balmy Blue. So, non-traditional. And this is so much fun because this you can take to the sink with your masks and you can rinse it all off very quickly. I'm doing kind of a lighter application out onto the edges of my sunflower. And then in the middle, I'm going to do, well, I just screwed that up, didn't I? In the middle, I'm going to do a thicker application. I kind of took that right to the edge. I should have done this, but you guys understand. Because I want to create a effect where it's darker in the middle and then it goes out from there. Okay. Now, the thing that's really cool about this is I can take this, lift this up. If this is not where I want it, I can put it right back on here and go again, okay? But this is pretty good for what I want. I do want just a little bit more on this part of this big one. You can play around with it now. Here on that edge. Okay, so let's just take a look at it. Looks good. Now, I'm going to take this off because I'm going to reuse this. This will now need to be washed unless you're going to do a few of these at a time. And I'm going to go for the number 2 matte. Wait a second. I actually completely screwed that up. Let me start again. It's Friday, everybody. I want to add more color on this. I want to add a different color. So I'm going to line it back up to where I had it. There we go. As best I can. This one comes this way. And I want to actually, I'm done with the Balmy Blue, so let's go for the Misty Moonlight. Misty Moonlight has a lot more color that it'll deposit. So this one you really want to make sure that you're going in. Now, I know some people who buy one for every single color. As long as you start off with the lightest color and then go the darkest before you clean your brushes out, you can just go in the same color family. Like I'll use this one for my green, and I have different greens. So this, I'm going to show you really quick. And these are the small brushes, by the way. This is my blue greens. This is my yellow greens. But I will use like my Old Olive and my Parakeet Party, my Granny Apple Green with this. But then this one is going to do more of like my Shaded Spruce where it has that blue green in it. So I just wanted you to understand that, yes, I can go right in with the lighter color into this one and pick it up. So I'm going to go again right through the middle part now and fade it out. So as I go, I'm fading that out. Now let me show you what that's doing so far. You see that fade on there? It gives that, too bad Bill's not here for him to go ombre. It gives that kind of ombre effect out. And who says that a sunflower can't be blue? Marsha, if you're on here, I know that you're going to agree with me. A sunflower can be blue. Can be whatever you want. Now, these masks for everything that you get are about, I think they're like $10. Maybe they're $10.50 at the most. I think that is an awesome price on this for what this is going to do. And wait till you see the detail that's going to come out of this. I'm doing smaller circles right here on this center to try to get that. And I'm trying to fade out as best I can on this. The other thing that I like is now I can pick it up and I can go the other direction. This side isn't getting as much blue as I would like it to have. So using you can buy extras of these if you want to. I just use the one that I'm using, but I don't use like a cutting plate that's like really grooved up, because then you never get the ink out of it. But if it's just like I use one for my top all the time, then that one is really good. Now let me take a look and see where we are. I think that's pretty good. What do you guys think? That looks pretty good for what I want. Now I want to save these because I'm going to use them for the next one. So then number 2 is going to be the leaves. So you can see right through this, which I love. And then you can put this on. Now I can see that there's a problem already with where this placement is. So I'm going to move it. It's still going to hold it in play, but then this leaf will be on there. Don't worry about if it goes off, because who cares? This is washable. Let's see. And I may have to turn this just a little because that's what I like. So I'm going to do the same thing. Now for this one, so this was Balmy Blue is what I started off with, and I went to Misty Moonlight. Now for the leaves, I'm not going to go for the green. I know you were probably thinking she's going to do the green. I'm going to do the gray granite. Okay, so I don't need this one. I can clean this out to use it for next time. Now, the gray granite is a color we've had for a while. And I don't want to do too hard. In fact, I want this to be kind of faded. So I'm going to just start and lightly go over this. This is actually kind of relaxing. Like, this is a type of card that you can make while you're watching TV. Seriously. Okay, so let's see how much we've got here on here. I'll come this way this time. Isn't that neat? Oh, I like it. Okay, so I'm going to put it back and line it up. So I'm done with the gray granite now. This is from our neutrals collection. And this is our pebbled path. Now that was lighter. I'm going in the same color family into a darker shade so I can use the same brush. This is going to deposit more color, so I'm going to load up my brush. And do you see how much that's going to deposit? So now I have to determine where I want this to hit. And I think what I want is the back of the leaves. I'm going to have that hit here on this back side. Make it up as you go, right? Because art is kind of impressionistic to whatever you think you want. And just do a light hand on this. Now let's take a look at that. Do I like that? I actually do like that. So I'm done with this one. So let's save these again. And I'll set that aside to be washed. And I'll put this away. Now I'm going to go into my warm greens. And so I'm going to go lightest color first. And I'm picking the Parakeet Party. And that's going to be my first one. And so I'm going to start with this to line this up. Now, it does not line perfectly because this is just the fun part of this. it does line perfectly, but it's not like it follows each and every crease. So don't get caught up in that because this should be fun. So I'll put this here. Okay, now I'm going to come in with my Parakeet Party. I'm going to tap off a little bit and I'm going to go light in the middle. I love blues and greens together. This is a bright green. The difference between the Parakeet Party and the Lemon Lime Twist is the yellow. There's more yellow in the Lemon Lime Twist than there is in the Parakeet Party, and the Parakeet Party has more green. And since I'm mixing this with a darker green in the same color family, let me look at this real quick, that it's okay to do that. Now, I like that. So this one, I can take this off, and we're going to put the Parakeet Party. Now, this is from last year's In Colors. And then I'm going to take the beloved Granny Apple Green. I'm going to throw the next mat over here. So get creative with your colors because you can. You don't have to stick with what a sunflower looks like. It can be anything you want it to be. Now this can go here. Now this is going to be a deeper green, same color family, darker. So I'm going to go in here and of course, look at the difference. Now it almost looks, compared to the other one, it almost looks like it's darker like Old Olive, but it isn't. So I'm going to tap some of that off and I'm going to go right over what I just colored. Now all these colors are going to dry lighter. So once they dry, I want to make sure I got that, okay. It'll look a little different than what it is when I'm just finishing it up here. And all you have to do is literally hold this underwater and rinse it, and it'll be all cleaned up. Okay, let's take a look at this. Isn't that cute? I love it. I do want to do just a hair more. I like that deep color. Isn't that fun? Now, any color that's on this, let me put this aside before I smack my finger in it. Any color that's on your tray will rinse off with your masks. And then what I do is I stand mine up and let them dry on a towel. I don't even wipe it. I literally run it under the water. And you can see I did get some of the gray on here. And so it'll just stand up with these. And I carry them in kind of all on this tray. And then I just stand them all up and run them under water. Boom, it's done. Let them dry. Okay, so now I have this beautiful embellishment, or not embellishment, focal point here. Let me move this stuff out of the way. And I'm going to bring in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Now I'm going to have to use the large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I usually use the smaller one, but I'm going to do it because I'm going to run this through now the Exposed Brick 3D embossing folder. If you haven't seen it, this is in our annual catalog. This is not one of the new ones. The masks were the new ones, but I'm going to run it through here to give this a little texture. So if you want to give a little oomph to your card, run your masked focal point through an embossing folder. So because this is a 3D embossing folder, I have my card base number 1, and then I have just the number 4 for this. So let me move this out of the way and pull this out. Now I'm going to stand for a moment. Again, this was the Exposed Brick 3D embossing folder. And let me see if you guys can see that. I don't know if you can or not. It's awesome. And it's so pretty. I mean, it just took it to the next level. I just love it. All right. Now, let me bring in the last piece of this. So I have a piece of Parakeet Party cardstock. It is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And to save some paper, I went ahead and ran through with our Nested Essentials, the smallest little label, because I'm going to be using this on here. And so this will, nobody's going to pull your card apart to say, hey, what is she doing here? This will serve as my mat, and it's also going to serve as my other focal piece. But I'm able to line this up now, and it really pops that color. So let's go ahead and adhere this down. So there's another little tip. If you're using a mat and you're going to use the same color cutout, don't waste another piece of cardstock. Just stick it right down here like this. And that green glue just gives you, that's the Tombow liquid glue, it gives you enough room. So there it is. There's the die cut. But who's going to know, right? I'm not going to tell him. Are you going to tell him? Okay. So I want to use some of the Pebbled Path. This is brand new for our in colors. So we use the Pebbled Path here. I want to use some of this ribbon, and I'm just kind of going to go around. And I know it's kind of going to go over what I did. That's okay with me. If you want to, you can move it up or down. It just depends, whatever you like. But I'm going to cut off a piece of this here. And I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. Now, let's see. I want to look. I may come down just a hair. Like that, I think. So I'm going to, this is my favorite way to connect something where I'm just using this as kind of a belly band. I'm not tying a bow. I'm just going to use it as a belly band on my card. And I got it uneven. So let's move this way a little bit. Much better. Much better. If you like snail runners, this is the best tape runner. Now, let's take this and let's adhere this right down to the card base. I do a little extra liquid glue because I do have the ribbon right there. It allows me to make it just a little slippery to get it into place on my card base. But also accommodate the extra width of this under the card. Oh, I just love it. Sorry, I get easily excited about my creations. So now, hey, where did my stamp go? I wanted to make this, even though it's not traditional colors. This is a new stamp set that is coming out, and I actually am doing a whole card class on this particular stamp set. I really like it. I love this. Knowing You brings joy to my heart. So thankful for you. Hope you're feeling better soon. You're in my thoughts and prayers. I love the vertical happy birthday. This is going to be a big seller. I just know it is. But I want to use this So Thankful for You. It is a red rubber set. So thankful for you. Now, I'm going to attach this here. And I like to use a bigger block. That is my personal preference. But when I am stamping, I want to see through where my project is. So I like to use a bigger block. And I'm going to bring this Pebbled Path back, because it'll be a dark enough image that I can put right on to this. I'm going to line this up on my grid paper so that point to point is straight on there. And then I'm going to ink this up. And what did I do with that scratch piece? I just want to make sure. Okay. I'm one who also teaches small stamp, small pressure. So this is inking up really good. I'm going to just try my best to center this. Allow just a little bit of time for that ink to transfer. Ta-da! So thankful for you. Again, that was Pebbled Path, and that is one of our in colors this year. So then I am going to grab some dimensionals. Now, when you go and put a dimensional on your ribbon, it's not going to stick. So we're definitely going to need to do some dimensionals in this area. It will stick, but it'll stick to the ribbon. So let's do this. Let's put a dimensional above. And because I do not like cards to, what's the word I'm looking for? Have any kind of give way. I know this is going to go right on the ribbon, sag, I guess, but that's okay because these are going to stabilize it. So I've got 4 of them here that I've put on this, which is probably over dimensionalized, but I want it to have a balance. And I'm going to stick this, So Thankful for You, because I am going to be using this for one of my fall cards. I'm going to have to stand up here to take a look. I love this die cut. I love this set. This was, I think this is called the Nested Essentials. I'll look again. Nested Essentials dies. They have flags. They're all stitched. They have this cute little rounded corner rectangle and then these, and I love them. And they stack and they're pretty and oh, I just love them. Okay, so with that, I'm going to grab up here some of my linen thread. Oh, look, I have one made. That'll keep me from... Do you guys ever do that? You think you're going to use something and it doesn't work what you were going to use, and then so you stick it back in the bag. So I'm just going to grab a glue dot since I have one made, and I'm going to use my take your pick tool because I'm going to use that pointy end of this and I'm going to roll this glue dot. Let's just roll it. And then I'll pull that off. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it right on here. Like that. That way I can throw this bow on there sideways, and I am going to trim that down just a hair. Okay. Then one more thing that's new. Oh, I got too much stuff in the way. Move that out of the way. One more thing that's new. I gotta find it. Where is it? These are coming out, and oh my gosh, you guys know I love the sparkles, right? So this is called Adhesive Glitter Sequins. That's like my jam on the colors there. I think that's like a Coastal Cabana. There's kind of an iridescent, and then there's the Granny Apple Green. So I'm going to take a few of these, and let's just do a large one. I love that it comes in sizes. So let's do one here, and let's do one here. I always do in odd numbers just because I think that it helps with, I'll do a smaller one, maybe like, well, this sucker got away from me. Maybe like here. I think I'll do it over here. I think that looks better. And I kind of do it in a triangle, but I always have kind of, oh, I don't know the names of the triangles, but that adds a little bit of glimmer. You got that kind of ombre effect going on here. Isn't it just adorable? Especially when now you could do it in traditional colors. I just like to teach that you have the ability and the license to do your own creativity and make fabulous cards outside of what I make using whatever colors you want to use. So I think that this is gorgeous. Of course, I love the color combo, but this would be pretty in purple. This would be pretty in, and you know, the other thing is you could, if you wanted to, on the inside where you write, you could actually make one of them just, you know, a small one on the corner for the inside. So, that's what I've got for the demonstration today. I only have a couple announcements. Please like and follow me so that you can see more great card demonstrations. I love teaching what I know. I'm not saying I'm anything other than the average Joe housewife here, but I would appreciate you following me. I do have a paper share. It's a quarter of all of the, a quarter sample of all of the DSPs out of the new catalog. I cut it. I do mine in 12 by 6 sizes unless Stampin' Up! Has it in the 6 by 6 size. I package them, I label them. In fact, let me just show you because I can show you. Here's one of the new ones. It'll come with a label in it, what goes with it. Here's another one. So here's another fun one. That is available. I will be advertising that. Look for that. If you cannot find that, I will definitely message me and I will get you the link if that's something you want to. But if 4 people share a pack of paper, you only pay a quarter of the cost and you get a sample of everything. I love that. And then please use my host code. The mask set is not available until September 6th. Everything else is available on my website. Well, except for these two. But the embossing folder, the paper, these dies, it's all available. This is my current host code right now. It's brand new today. So any orders under $149.99, please definitely use that host code. Then you'll be enrolled into my perks program, which pays you back 10% of everything that you buy. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and stay cool for those of you who are hot and all of my Australian friends who are shaking like a leaf because I think it's winter there, right? I don't know. I think it is. And stay warm. Take care. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.